Welcome to a very special, the very first ever pre-show before a game here with the Mexican Soccer Show live. I am Weasel from FoodMexSource.com, and it's going to be a great show, especially for those that are in the chat right now. I think we have a total of 2 people that are in there, and I'm sure it'll go up. But we have a full house, the very first time we have 4 of these experts, so-called experts on Mexico. I say they are. We're going to have a fun time. We also have a person right now at the game, the Panama game, Querétaro. So we're going to go to him live first. Let's see who we have. Cesar from Cali. Cesar, always a pleasure to have you on. How's it going, sir? Nice shirt again.
Thank you. Thank you. Doing well. Actually, I was going to bring this up, but so when I was earlier today, and I was trying to like hype up everybody, get everybody excited, like, hey, like we're going to have the live show whenever, and I linked to Mexican Soccer Show, and I realized today that the Mexican Soccer Show doesn't follow me on Twitter. I known for like 6 months. You guys don't even follow me?
How is that? Who's running that? Who's running that?
Look at the quality of your tweets.
We also, obviously, you hear that noise. It is Tom Marshall, Mr. Tom Marshall. He's actually at the game right now. That's why he's got the close-up using the technology from his phone. Tom, how's it going? Give us a little, maybe a little preview. What's up?
Hi guys, how's it going? Yeah, all good here in Querétaro. Atmosphere's building up. I don't think it's going to sell out, which is a bit strange. Big news coming out from the team sheet is that Chicharito is captain, so it's a big day for him. And yeah, it's all good. I don't think the atmosphere is not quite as good as it was in Chiapas. On Thursday against Honduras, it was really something special. But obviously, the national team put to town and. You expect to be good, and there is a buzz outside the ground, and inside as well, as you can probably hear.
Yes, definitely good. Give us a little view of the field if you can. There it is. Obviously, as you can see, giving you, I mean, no one else gives you this much access. I think they are with the players, either introducing the players or something that's going on, obviously. But yeah, great to see Tom, especially with giving us that live look. We have been live before at the San Francisco Stadium for practice, but now this is going to be Tom, we'll go back to you to give us a little more of your thoughts in a minute. I'll introduce you to, stay tuned, okay? Naive finally was able to join on Monday. We had some problems to join in, but at the last minute went ahead and joined. How's it going, Naive? Are you ready for this game?
Good. I mean, it's interesting to see the view from the stadium in Querétaro right now with Ronaldinholandia, like I called it yesterday. I mean, you would think that the excitement would be bigger over there in Querétaro at the moment. But it's a good game. I mean, I think the Honduras game showed some good sparks, especially the Chicharito goal. I'm hoping for a little bit more creation from Herrera and Fabian today.
Yeah, good to see. And obviously, Johnny wearing. Is that a hockey shirt that you're wearing? Johnny, you're on mute.
He's on mute. Did you mute him?
Hey.
I did not mute him.
No, I muted myself. I didn't want. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt Tom Marshall. No, I'm wearing my first ever Club America jersey, and I think I've stretched it out over the years. I was not this big at 8 years old. But...
Good to see. Man, you know what? Let's just get it over with. Go ahead. Let's get it over with because I know it'll probably interrupt during the middle of the show. Johnny, why are you wearing a shirt today? I hear there's some kind of birthday going on for El Nido.
Yes, 98 years ago today, the greatest club was born.
Okay.
98 años de grandeza.
And we will give him the benefit of the doubt that that's true because he's wearing it. But congratulations to the Americanistas, for sure. Well, let's get right into it. We have a little bit of 25 minutes before the game starts. Talk about obviously the starting lineup. Just like you said, Tom came out right now and just said that Chicharito will be the captain. Something that I mean, it makes sense, especially with what's going on. A lot of captains changes I've seen, from Massa, Guardado. Memo Ochoa, now Chicharito has, at the same time, it could be because so many different players are playing, especially the Europeos in those leadership roles. But let's go back to Tom Tom, I know that the game's about to start. We do have, you know, maybe some sound, so we'll go ahead and get to you. Anything you can tell us, kind of your preview on the game and what you expect, especially with this game, and maybe a little bit about the press conferences that you've been attending with Piojo there in the stadiums. Take it away, Tom.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. I don't think there's going to be too much in it. I think Panama are going to make it really difficult. Watching them train yesterday, they were pressing very high up. They were practicing with playing against 3 centre backs. So it's going to be interesting. It's very hot, and the sun, as you can probably see, is absolutely beaming down onto the field. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can pull it off. Aside from that, Herrera, it's been pretty standard fare from him. Obviously, always entertaining. You know, he switched up his 3 centre backs, which I think is key. You know, he said he played almost perfectly the other night. So, you know, to switch it up now and tonight to have Venegas, Ayala, and Miguel Herrera, you know, that's going to be another test for them. You know, Mexico hasn't conceded a goal since the World Cup. So, you know, it's another big test for him. Blas Perez is, you know, obviously has had a great career for Panama. So that's going to be, we'll see how they cope with him. Aside from that, Güemes, I think it's a massive game for him. I think the defensive midfield spot is an area of the team that is up for grabs. I've seen Jonathan Dos Santos come into it a little bit with some minutes for Villarreal, and it looks pretty impressive. But bottom line is he hasn't played in the game. Güemes, he only made his debut about 14 months ago in the Liga MX, which he won. And it's really been a meteoric rise for the kid, really. I think he's turning 23 in a few days. A couple of years ago, he was playing like 3rd division, so he's starting tonight in the defensive midfield role. I really like him. I know we always try and be objective, but you know it's difficult sometimes. Güemes is a real battler. I like the fact he battles. He likes to win the midfield battle. And it looks like Panama are going to the tough side in midfield. The big, strong lads there. So I think it's going to be a big ask of Güemes. And yeah, who else? Chicharito captain. I mean, I couldn't even believe last night that Herrera hadn't decided, because I thought it was just so obvious that Chicharito, a guy who's played 67 times for Mexico and scored 37 goals, a guy who behaves impeccably on and off the field. Just looked at the team sheet. I mean, I know some people said Hector Herrera possibly, but I mean, speak to Hector Herrera. He's not captain. He's really not captain. He's a top player, but he's not a captain. And I know Johnny Rico, we were chatting on Twitter. You said Layun, but for me, and I can see Layun. I can see that. But for me, Chicharito is rightly the captain today, and. Yeah, and the other one's Rodolfo Pizarro on the right wing back. I honestly think that it's only a matter of time before he takes that spot. He's still very young, but I think he's got a lot of potential. And Chuletita Orozco, many people are questioning why he's even there at the minute. This is his 4th game now in the last 2 months in the national team. He's not even shown that much in Tribuna. We've got Raúl Jiménez coming back from Atletico Madrid. We've got Alan Pulido, if he ever decides to play again. He's likely to get back into the national team. We've got Hugo Torres, who's going from strength to strength with Chivas USA, and likely this winter he's going to make a move to a bigger club. And I think he's definitely going to be the picture moving forward. So Chulatita, if he doesn't do it today, you have to think that he's not going to be back for quite some time. So big pressure on him.
Good. Well, thank you, Tom. I know that obviously being in front and there with the crowd, it's always a pleasure to be there. But thank you for having just a little time to join us. I know that you probably have to go get ready for the game. So if we can, if we'll talk to you maybe at halftime, that way you can give us your views and what's going on, obviously, during the halftime. But thank you to Tom Marshall, who's there at Corregidora, at, like Naib said, Ronaldinho land. Maybe you get to spot him. I would think they'd like to go to the game. But thank you, Tom, for doing that. Let's go up to the reactions of, obviously, you guys that are on a couple of interesting things that Tom said. First of all, Mexico not conceding a goal since the World Cup. Another thing, obviously, Chicharito with the captain's armband. But first, for those that don't know, let's bring in Cesar. Obviously, tell us about the starting lineup, the differences between the last game, obviously. But go ahead and take it away, and obviously your views on what it is experimental up front with Chuletita Orozco. But go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, all right. So Tom already said, the back line, we got Venegas, Ayala, and Herrera as our center backs. We have Talavera in goal as opposed to Ochoa this time around. On right wing back, we have Pizarro. as opposed to Aguilar. We still have Layun on left wing back. Then we have Marco Fabian and Hector Herrera as our attacking midfielders. We got Güemes as a defensive midfielder who's taking over from Rios. And then up top, we got Chicharito and Chuletita. So at least for me, I think it's a big start for Pizarro and Güemes and the three center backs. Obviously, right now we're in a time of transition. Right now with the center backs, and I think it'll be interesting to see. We need to find some substitutes at this moment. Diego Reyes isn't getting a lot of time. Moreno is injured, and it looks like he probably still won't come back until early next year. And then it doesn't look like Rafa. Well, who knows what's going on with Rafa? I don't think he could be coming back ever. So right now is a time for transition. I think those three center backs. I think that'll be something to really look at today.
Especially, I mean, if you want to just kind of break it down in the defense, Johnny, Naib, and obviously the differences. Could we see? I think Panama is going to be a much more threatening team than Honduras. Especially, I know that I've reported that Panama has been working together right after the World Cup. They got with obviously the trainer and started working for the Centroamericana, the Copa, and trying to get into obviously the Copa Oro, which. They were able to, so I think it's going to be a bigger threat. Tom Marshall already said also about Blas Perez, but what are your thoughts, Naib? Obviously, defense and Johnny with this team and what we're going to see out of it.
I think based on the first games after the World Cup that I've noticed is that, for at least the center backs, they usually play in a back line of 4 defenders in their team. And when they come to L3, they sort of have to switch to a 5-3-2 to the back line of 5. The opponents haven't been that tough. I mean, I think the toughest opponents in this after the World Cup has been Chile. Honduras had the possession of the game for quite a while. But the center backs have been doing well, considering the 3 center backs have been doing well, considering they don't play minutes as in the back line of 4 with their clubs. It's going to be a big test for Herrera, for Ayala as that libero to, command the center backs. But Ayala's been in this situation plenty of times already. I mean, it's like, this is your moment, guy. Try and take over, and we'll see what happens.
Johnny, about looking into this defense. It's hopefully you're not muted. This defense coming in. Obviously, knowing Layun, obviously keeping. We haven't seen the same Layun as maybe the club. We haven't seen the same Layun after the World Cup that we normally see. Three lungs and coming in. What is your assessment, obviously, on that defense and what? Piojo always, the carrileros is what he's always, known for, especially with the 5-3-2.
Well, Layun is the best left wingback Mexico has at the moment. The closest competition he's got is Torres Nilo and Miguel Ponce, which they're very far behind him, in current form. Layun has his critics. He's always had them. He'll always have them. I used to be one of his biggest critics. He's proven me wrong over the years. I'm glad he has. And over at the right back position, Tom Marshall was talking about Pizarro, becoming a starter pretty soon. I think Paulo Aguilar is gonna be the starting right back for at least the next 2 years, if not the whole entire World Cup cycle. Pizarro is very young. He's a good option to have on that B squad that Herrera's trying to build for the other competitions, for the Olympics that will be coming up. But I don't think a player as young as Pizarro is going to take away Paulo Aguilar's position.
Good to see. Obviously, keep moving forward. Interesting about Paulo Aguilar because it's so funny how people either see he did an amazing job or he's not doing that great of a job. It's such a different opinions, and it's not because you're Americanista, Johnny. Because I seen Paulo Aguilar being the starter for sure in the team, so we'll see where it goes. Let's talk about the mid. Go ahead, Naib.
Just quick, I mean, in the game against Honduras, Paulo Aguilar played as left wing back and as right wing back. I think there's and then one little point. I think the wing backs have to attack more. I think in Honduras there was a little bit of an improvement. We'll see in the Panama game.
Well, I think Honduras also kind of stopped the wing play. Obviously had a little more possession and didn't let that wing play. I think it was well planned by Pelicano Medford, knowing that the wings is what carries, especially Piojo's teams. So good for him. Props to Honduras not going back. Props to Honduras, trying to come in and play, very physical at the same time. Let's go ahead and talk about the mid. Obviously, Rios, who I thought was got a little bit overmatched, especially with the physicality of Honduras, the large, bigger player, but not because of his size, because we've seen Gallito Vasquez do really well against a team in that DM position. I think that's why it's switching. Cesar, obviously, you pointed out in the mid, Fabian, Guames, and also Herrera going in the middle. Fabian, again, given another opportunity, especially not doing well with the team. What are your thoughts on the mid and what we're looking for, that defensive mid that we're still searching for, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going back to what you're saying, Fabian. I think some of you may have seen this. I think he was kind of like an unsung hero from the last game. And although he hasn't really done much with Cruz Azul this season, he had a direct influence on both of the goals that happened during the last game. So I think he definitely deserves another start. Rios.
Well, it wasn't a corner kick though, wasn't it?
Yeah, he still took the corner though, right?
It's like we're gonna start tallying. We're gonna start tallying like assists on corners. It's like no, go ahead.
Okay, but Rios, he was a little bit of a letdown, wasn't he? I mean, it's defensive mid. It requires you to be controlling that spot in the middle, and it just seemed he seemed a little non-existent, didn't he? I don't know. I didn't really see him do much, and I think that was I think with him slacking during the first 20 or 30 minutes was the reason why Honduras was doing so well at the beginning of the last game. So I think Güemes, who he's kind of seen as like a tough, kind of like aggressive player, I think it'll be interesting to see what he could do today. So I'm excited to see, I don't know, what he and the rest of like Fabian Herrera could do. But I think. I don't know. I actually wasn't too let down by Herrera last game. I know a lot of people were giving him some slack, but I still think he was a little bit of a catalyst for our attack. He kind of slowed down as the game progressed, but I liked Herrera last time around.
Yeah, looking at it. Tell us about Guames, Johnny. I know you see him well, a lot. Obviously, you cover all the Cholos games. What is good attributes for those that have not seen him? This is the first time we see him in the national team. Not watching out of the Cholos game. Why was he picked? I mean, is he up and coming? He's only 23 from what Tom says. Johnny.
Yeah, I think Güemes' biggest attribute is that he does not get stage fright. He's young, but he knows his surroundings. He knows how to play that very difficult position. I think you guys were just saying how the defensive midfield position, you have to be tough. You have to kind of stand up to guys. That position is usually filled by veteran players, and Güemes has never backed down from a battle in midfield. He's gone up against the Egidio Arevalos, and he's got a great teacher in Tijuana and Cristian Pellerano. I can't think of anyone to learn from, anyone better to learn from, and Güemes has had that experienced player next to him the whole time in Tijuana. So I think his maturity level on the field, the fact that he doesn't really get frightened from the stage, from the big opportunity that's presented itself to him. So I think he's gonna have one of those. He's gonna shine in the absence, because a good defensive midfielder, you don't really notice him. You notice big mistakes from a defensive midfielder. So he's gonna have a nice quiet game. He's gonna handle his job, and because of the lack of time, the commentator on the TV announces his name. That's how you're gonna tell that he did a great job.
Always great to see. Let's move on. 10 minutes before the game starts. Move on, obviously, to the forward. Two big, obviously, the name Chicharito and Chicharito Orozco. But big news, obviously, Chicharito getting the captain's armband. And in my opinion, you have seen him take more of a leadership role, or have that, I guess, maybe more attitude at the games. Knowing that obviously he's been with the team almost the longest as anybody that's there. I think it's great to see Chicharito taking that leadership role, and I mean, it's not like he's a youngin' anymore, especially on the team. But Naive, the forwards obviously looks like we're just kind of running out of either Mexican forwards from the actual league. But is it kind of a threat that we only have Chulatito up front, or is this just Piojo giving him one last chance to make sure he gets it?
I think it's ironic what's going on right now with Mexico, that you have Raúl Jiménez in Atletico and Chicharito in Real Madrid. Yet in the league, in the Mexican league, there's a drought of Mexican forwards, and the prime example is that right now you have to go to Chuletita Orozco and give him another shot. I wouldn't say that's his last shot, but we're talking about a guy that against Chile he could have scored that 1-0 goal that could have changed the game. But the interesting about these two matches against Honduras and Panama is that it's like two strikers that are pure. It's not like Giovanni, who's a second striker that is more mobile and can move around the box. These are two pure strikers, Chuletita and Chicharito. I don't know who's going to play more closer to the midfielders. I'd say maybe Chicharito might play closer to the midfielders.
I think that's what he's doing right now. Chicharito is kind of playing more out in Real Madrid, kind of taking it out, coming out. So I think maybe that's why. Go ahead, Johnny.
I would have loved to see Gonzalez in Chuletita's position, kind of that forward that's a little back down the field more.
And I think maybe it's interesting to see that Peralta's absence in the starting 11 again, not having such great of a game. I mean, not knowing that Peralta missed, obviously that is a perfect shot. I mean, just obviously to the goal is things that are happening outside the field. Maybe not into it because he's not scoring in America. We haven't seen really Peralta do anything worth mentioning since, I guess the World Cup, the Cameroon game, and even then, a lot of people were kind of giving him. So I think that it could be that last shot. Everyone keeps saying, why Orozco's there, but we really don't have anybody else to put in there, like we said. Overall,
he hasn't had a terrible season with Santos either, and I think he's. I think he shouldn't have started today because I think I would have rather given Kubo a chance just to see what he could do. But he's I think Chuletita's already he's scored 5 goals this season so far with Santos. I think he's had an assist as well. So it's just the national team he's been slacking with. But that being said, I know.
Well, what about also Kubo? I mean, if Kubo gets a good playing time, comes in, maybe has 30 more minutes. What's to say about Kubo not scoring? I mean, that's on the games that he had. I mean, he's had opportunities, maybe not so much to play him, but at the same time, Kubo. I mean, from what we've seen and the amount of minutes he's getting, when is it do we say that? All right, Kubo, let's start getting those goals that you do at the MLS?
It's not even about goals with Kubo Torres because the game time Kubo Torres has had, you've seen good combination plays with the other forwards. You see the good giving goals that he has, and what you don't see is huge misses in front of goal like with Chuletita Orozco. Maybe he's not scoring goals, but he's in a better rhythm. He's in a better form than Chuletita Orozco is.
All right.
Yeah, I think when you have to look at the 4 forwards, Chuletita, Chicharito, Peralta, and Kubo, the 2 forwards that are more confident at the moment are Chicharito and Kubo Torres. So I don't know. We'll see how Piojo is playing around with this, but you never know. I mean, if Fabian and Herrera and Aguilar and Pizarro and Layun give some good crosses, Chuletita might end up scoring.
Yeah, and I think that's where everybody is going to come out. Oh, Chuletita's back. Do we want Chuletita to score? I think maybe that's the question.
No.
Yeah, there you go. I think we all agree.
See, let's be honest. Chuletita scores 3 goals today, 2 goals from great, passes from Hector Herrera. And, there's going to be Piojo saying, I told you guys, when everyone out there is going like, why is this guy in the national team? We all want Kubo to score. Let's not lie.
I kind of want Layun to score.
Oh, is he going to score? He's probably going to score 4 today.
I wrote it down somewhere. I would not be opposed to seeing Layun as a forward. It's not as crazy as it sounds. I'm serious.
There is a little bit of I think Martín del Palacio did a story that it's pretty unusual to see that type of player scoring that many goals, and to do that. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, it's time for your prediction. Obviously, in the very first pre-show, I can't let you off with the prediction that we're going to have. Let's go as far as to see if you can name the players that score, just to make it more interesting. So think about your players. And now to the chat out there, also, I know there are a few of you that are watching. Obviously, putting your prediction on the chat. But let me read a couple of things that they have in the chat. So before you guys out there kind of looking for your prediction. Let's see. Raul Barraza, Pizarro is what I will be paying most attention to. Loads of potential. Johnny, obviously, in there fighting for Paul Aguilar, of course.
I think
Let's
Raul
see.
Barraza was the only guy who's commented so far.
I think so. No. Let's start rumors on why Kubo isn't starting from J. Picasso 4. So he's still commenting. But all right, guys. So what's your predictions? Let's hear 'em. Naib.
I'd say 3-0. 2 Chicharito and 1 Peralta.
Chicharito breaking will be above if he scores 2 goals, right?
No, he
Yeah,
would
really
tie
above.
Cuauhtemoc. He would tie Cuauhtemoc, if I'm not mistaken.
With
Yeah,
2
But
or
if it's 2
1?
goals,
With 2, he ties.
or 2.
Yeah,
I thought it was 1 he tied.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that with 2, he ties
Raise
Cuauhtemoc.
your hand. I think with 2 he wins. I don't know. We'll see. Johnny,
I could be
you
wrong.
should know your stuff, dude. Johnny, what's your prediction?
I'm going to say 3-1. Goals from
my prediction.
Chicharito,
You?
Chicharito, Herrera, and Mayun.
All right. Cesar, going with the 3-1.
No, I'm gonna say Mexico 4-0, 4 goals by Layun. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually saying 3.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm saying a 3-1 as well, actually. I'm gonna say Chicharito scores, Fabian scores, and then some random defender, maybe Herrera or Ayala, off a set.
Mayun.
All right. I'm going to go with 2-0. Mexico winning 2-0 again. Late goals, I think, towards the second half with Cubo Torres 1. And I'm going to go with Guames out of nowhere scoring a goal for us.
So am I the only one that predicted Panama scoring a goal?
I said
everyone else
No,
said
I said 2.
Yeah.
I was the only one that did.
I said 3-0.
Oh, you did say 3-0. Yeah. I'm going to go with Cubo Torres finally scoring. No, you know what? I'm going to change it. It's going to be 2-0, 1-0 at the halftime, and it's going to be Chuletita Orozco and Cubo Torres scoring. That way makes a nice, interesting talk. All right, guys. Well, 3 more minutes, 4 minutes before the game starts. We're going to be back. I hope that you join us during halftime for a little maybe 5 to 8 minute chat really quick on what we need, what we see. So definitely stay on. For those of you at home that are watching, jump on the computer, jump on the phone, listen to us. Give us your opinions. We'll definitely read them on the air. So I know Cesar, Johnny, and Naib, you guys were joining us for halftime, right?
Definitely. I'll be there.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, we'll be signing off for a little while. Cesar, Johnny, and Naib, let's see each other in about 45 to 50 minutes.
Is it going to be the same YouTube link for everybody?
If I'm going to try to work on it. I think it will be, yeah.
All right, we'll tweet it out to you all.
All right, guys.
Yeah, tweet us your comments throughout the game. We'll read some during halftime. Go Chargers.
Go Chargers. Chargers. All right, go.
John Enrico just
I'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys in a bit.